Have you ever started a project with boundless enthusiasm, only to see that vibrant spark dim and eventually flicker out, leaving behind a trail of unfinished dreams? We often chase that initial surge of energy, that intoxicating feeling of motivation, believing it's the secret sauce to success. But what happens when the work becomes tedious, when the path gets steep, or when inspiration simply refuses to show up? Meet Ethan, a watchmaker of extraordinary talent, blessed with a keen eye and nimble fingers. His workshop, nestled in a quiet corner of the city, was a sanctuary of intricate gears and polished brass. When inspiration struck, Ethan was a force of nature. He could dismantle the most complex chronometer, identify its subtle flaws, and reassemble it with breathtaking precision, often in a single, inspired burst of activity. Clients flocked to him, marveling at his genius. But there was a hidden truth beneath his dazzling talent. Ethan was a man of many beginnings and few endings. His workbench was a testament to his sporadic brilliance. Half-finished projects lay scattered amongst specialized tools, a grandfather clock awaiting its pendulum, a delicate pocket watch missing a crucial spring, a marine chronometer with its balance wheel suspended in limbo. Each piece had, at some point, captured his imagination, ignited a fire within him. But as soon as the initial thrill wore off, as soon as the meticulous, repetitive tasks began, that fire would dwindle. He'd wait for inspiration to return, for that elusive muse to whisper new ideas, but often it wouldn't. He'd move on to the next exciting challenge, leaving the previous one to gather dust, a silent monument to his fleeting motivation. Ethan, like many of us, misunderstood the true engine of achievement. He believed success was a spontaneous combustion of genius and passion. He hadn't yet learned that while motivation might be the spark that ignites the flame, it is discipline, quiet, persistent, unwavering discipline that keeps it burning. Long after the initial glow has faded into the mundane. One day, a peculiar timepiece arrived at Ethan's shop. It was an antique astronomical regulator, a masterpiece of 18th century engineering, designed to track celestial movements with unparalleled accuracy. Its owner, a renowned astrophysicist, had brought it from across continents. The watch was completely inert, its delicate mechanisms frozen in time. Several master watchmakers had attempted to revive it, only to return it with apologies. The challenge thrilled Ethan. This was precisely the kind of intricate puzzle that sparked his genius. He saw himself as the only one who could conquer it. He spent days, then weeks, meticulously examining every gear, every pivot, every jewel. The initial rush of excitement was exhilarating. He worked late into the night, fueled by coffee and the thrill of discovery. He sketched diagrams, consulted ancient texts, and even crafted custom tools. He felt that familiar surge of motivation, the belief that he was on the verge of a breakthrough. But as the weeks turned into a month, and the problem remained stubbornly unsolved, the thrill began to wane. The tiny gears blurred, the microscopic adjustments became tedious, and the silence of the inert mechanism started to feel like a personal defeat. He found himself procrastinating, inventing excuses, waiting for that aha moment that refused to arrive. The astronomical regulator was destined to become another unfinished masterpiece on his cluttered bench. Frustrated and disheartened, Ethan retreated from his workshop one evening, seeking solace in the dusty attic of his childhood home. His father, Arthur, had been a craftsman of legendary repute, a watchmaker, a carpenter, a silversmith, a man whose hands seemed to coax beauty from raw materials. Ethan had always admired his father's work, attributing it to an innate, almost magical talent. He imagined his father working in a perpetual state of inspired flow, effortlessly creating masterpieces while rummaging through old boxes. Ethan stumbled upon a collection of leather-bound journals, his father's meticulous daily records. He opened the first one, expecting to find grand philosophical musings on art, or perhaps sketches of groundbreaking inventions. Instead, he found page after page of simple, almost monotonous entries. Monday, sharpened chisels. Repaired a loose chair leg. Polished silver for 2 hours. Weather overcast. Tuesday, measured oak planks. Filed down burrs on clock escapement. Cleaned workbench. Felt tired. There was no mention of inspiration, no dramatic breakthroughs, no declarations of genius. Just the quiet, persistent documentation of daily tasks. Some difficult, many boring, all necessary. Ethan flipped through the journals. A strange sense of bewilderment washing over him. Where was the magic? Where was the muse? Then, on a yellowed page near the end of the last journal, he found a passage that stopped him cold. His father's elegant script read, "My son, if you ever read this, understand one thing. A person who only works when inspired will be someone with many beginnings but no endings. They will chase the fleeting joy of a new idea, but abandon it when the path becomes thorny. You don't show up because you feel good. You show up, and in the process of working, you might, if lucky, start to feel good." The true craftsman isn't defined by the brilliance of his ideas, but by the relentless consistency of his effort. It is in the quiet, unglamorous act of showing up day after day that true mastery is forged. The work itself is the reward, not just the outcome. The words resonated deep within Ethan, a truth he had always instinctively avoided. He had always waited for the wave of inspiration to carry him, never realizing he needed to build the boat himself and row. Even when the waters were calm and featureless. His father hadn't been a magician. He had been a worker. A disciplined, relentless worker. The next morning, Ethan walked into his workshop with a different resolve. The astronomical regulator still sat on his bench, a monument to his recent failure. He felt no surge of inspiration, no burning desire to tackle its mysteries. In fact, he felt tired, almost reluctant. But his father's words echoed in his mind. You don't show up because you feel good. You show up, he made a commitment, for hours, every single morning. Regardless of how he felt, regardless of whether inspiration struck, he would dedicate those 4 hours to the regulator. He wouldn't aim for a breakthrough. He would aim for consistency. He started with the smallest, most mundane tasks: cleaning components, checking screws, recalibrating the tension on microscopic springs, tasks he would have previously dismissed as beneath his genius. He focused on one tiny segment at a time, celebrating the completion of each minute step, rather than waiting for the grand solution. The first few days were excruciating. His mind wandered, his hands felt clumsy, and the urge to abandon the tedious work was overwhelming. But he pushed through, driven by a silent, internal promise. He learned to quiet the voice that demanded instant gratification and instead listened to the rhythmic tick of his own focused effort. He learned to find a strange satisfaction in the repetition, a meditative quality in the meticulousness. Weeks passed this way. For hours every morning, a silent ritual of discipline. One particularly uninspired Tuesday, as he was meticulously examining the escapement mechanism for the 100th time, his eyes, now trained to see beyond the obvious, caught something, a flicker, a minuscule imperfection that had eluded him, and indeed every other master watchmaker who had examined the piece. It asterisk, if this story touched your heart, help spread the message. Like the video, share it immediately, and hit that subscribe button with the bell, so you don't miss the next inspiring lessons. See you again soon.